back with another video, and today's video is all about nursing school. Like, I passed and completed my first year of nursing school, second year, shawty. Graduation, where you at? Third semester, shawty, what's good? Like, I'm so lit. Like, thank God I passed, because this first year of nursing school was a fool, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all all about it, but since I talk a lot, I have to break it down into 2 semesters, and I'm going to break it down into 2 videos. So this first video is going to be all about first semester. I took notes, guys, so to let y'all know, to give y'all the most in-depth experience about my first semester of nursing school that I can. So without further ado, let's just hop into the video. Okay, y'all, so first semester, let me just say that I went to the I attend the Lamar University Dishman School of Nursing. Yes, it's lit. Yeah, no, BSN program. We in here. And so I'm gonna tell you about my experience and like my classes. I'm gonna break down classes, grades, clinicals, all that stuff. I'm gonna let y'all know. So the first thing I want to talk about is like the way classes are set up. You get a set schedule. You don't pick your schedule. Once you enter nursing school, your life is not your life. You sign your life over to the nursing school. Like, you sign your life over to Lamar, because that's it. You don't have a say in your classes. You don't have a say in your teachers. You don't have a say in anything. You get your schedule and you go to classes. The only thing, and then it's like you're with your entire class. Like, it was 80 of us. All 80 of us that got into nursing school, we all did the same thing at the same time, except the only 2 varieties is some of us had clinicals on different days and some of us had simulation lab on different days. But other than that, you in the class with all of these people throughout the whole week. And I had also made before y'all get into this, if y'all want to know like what came before nursing school, I have a video of my college experience. I'll link it down below in the description box. I also have a vlog called The Week in the Life of Nursing School Law, and it's kind of give you a little gist of how my week went, but I'm gonna go into detail. But I'm gonna also link that in the description box too. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, first semester of nursing school, I have 4 classes. Yeah, I had holistic health assessment. I had holistic health assessment on Mondays. On Tuesdays, I had clinicals. And on Wednesdays, I had concepts of holistic health. And that was a lecture. So Monday class was a lecture and Wednesday class was a lecture. On Thursdays, I had pharmacology. And after pharmacology, I had nursing simulation lab part 1. And then on Fridays, I had holistic health assessment lab. So essentially, the class I had Monday, HHA, holistic health assessment, and the Friday class, holistic health lab, those are those classes go together. And then concepts of holistic health, I had the clinical for that on Tuesday and the actual class on Wednesday. So let me tell you about grading. We're gonna start off with that. You have assignments in nursing school, but they don't count until your test grades meet a certain average. So it's exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, final exam. You have to meet a 75% to pass for your other assignments to count. So your exam grades have to equal to 75% for your other assignments to count towards your grade, and then your grade is what your grade is. If you don't make a 75 in the class, you fail and you have to take it again. You can only fail 2 classes or you're going to get kicked out the entire program. Let me reiterate, you can only fail 2 classes or you're going to get kicked out of the entire program. Over the course of the 2 years, 2 classes get you kicked out. Not 2 classes a semester, 2 classes. Because who want a nurse that's failing every year? Okay. So let's talk about HHA. HHA was a class that's basically about like holistic health assessment. That's what it's called. And it's about like basically the body systems and assessing somebody. Like, you know, when you go to the doctor and they be like, how do you feel today? Like, let me check your arms, let me check your hands, let me look at your eyes, let me look at you, you know, like in your mouth, let me check your skin, like let me take your temperature, your vitals, all that. That's basically what that class is about, is properly learning how to assess somebody. And you're not supposed to use the word normal, but it's about what's normal and what's not normal. So the class was basically a lecture and to go over the body systems and what look right and what don't look right. And that I don't remember how that was an 8 o'clock class. You gonna have 8 o'clocks. Nursing school, you are gonna be a nurse, sis or bro, or whoever watching this, you gonna be a nurse. Or if you just want to know, you're gonna be a nurse. Y'all gotta wake up early. Waking up late ain't an option no more. Like, you not gonna wake up later than 6 a.m. I'm telling you this now. And on clinical days, you have to be at the hospital for 6 a.m. For 6 a.m. So that means you gotta wake up at like 4:45, okay? But that's what HHA was about. And it was really, it was a cool class. Like, I passed the class. Well, duh, I passed the class. It wasn't hard. That class, so whatever we learned in lecture that Monday, that Friday, we actually did an assessment. Like, it was like a lab. You know how you learn about it in class and then you have a lab to go with it? Fridays was the lab. It was in the morning, and you actually did the assessment. We had a partner, and you brought your stethoscope and your pen light and whatever you need to bring, and you actually did the assessment on your partner, and they told you how to properly assess, what you look for, how this should feel, how it should not feel. Basically, that's what happened. So that's what HHA was about. It was a cool class. Like, you don't appreciate HHA until next semester. So I honestly would say take all those classes seriously, but take HHA serious because they gonna bring you. Sorry y'all, my camera did some weird stuff while I was talking, but I would say take that class serious. The class didn't stress me out until the end of the year, where we had to do like a test. We had to assess a patient in the sim lab, like do a head to toe assessment on somebody for a grade, do it the right way and document the right way. The class didn't stress me out much until then. They record you, you go in, do what you gotta do, they record you, and then that's like your final grade. It counts towards your grade. But other than that, that class really didn't stress me out. I wouldn't stress out over the class, but I would pay attention. Like, you gonna need assessment because you gotta know how to assess somebody. My nose is getting oily on my gag, y'all. Geez, my knees, bro. Like, I was oily before I was pregnant, but now I'm like super duper oily. But we not here for that. Okay, so Tuesdays, okay, on Mondays I had HHA, and then after that on Tuesday we have clinicals, right? But the day before you attend clinicals, you have to go to the hospital or go to the nursing home. Well, this is how it started off. First, we started off clinicals. Like, before we actually started going to clinicals, we have a simulation lab where it teaches you how to approach a patient, how to go to a patient's room, like get you ready to actually do what you're going to do in the hospital and the nursing home. And we had simulation. We didn't have to do pre-conference for simulation lab. We just went the day of. We were supposed to have clinicals and have sim lab. Sim lab really helps you like get a feel. Like, it's not real, it's actors, but it helps you get a feel of what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to apply everything. Okay, but back to pre-conference. On the day before you have clinicals, whenever day you have clinicals, I had clinicals on Tuesday. So on Mondays I had pre-conference, and at the beginning, after we got out of simulation, we went to the nursing home before we went to the hospital. So we went to the nursing home, and you pick a patient. So basically, the day before, you go in your, well, we have uniforms. We go in our CBSL uniforms, and we go to the nursing home. It's a list of patients. You can't have the same patient as somebody in your clinical group. They put you in groups, clinicals. Like, it's 10 people per one clinical professor at a facility. So you go with your clinical group. Y'all can't have the same person, and you basically go through the patient's chart, write down, you know, their diagnosis, if they have catheter, like basically everything about the patient. You go home that night, you do your research, you do a care plan on how you would care for this patient, what they're at risk for, what their nursing diagnosis is, what medications they're on, what they should watch for, all that stuff. First semester you cannot give medications, but you can give medications in second semester because you actually have to pass pharmacology to be able to give medications. But you learn about what medications they're on, and then the next day that prepares you on how to take care of the patient, which is what you do in clinicals. So in clinicals, you go in, you have to do your assessment on the patient, and then you just with the patient all that whole day, and their nurse, and you taking care of them. And basically that's what clinicals is about. Like, that's what you do. You be a nurse. Like, you be you're getting what was that? What was that? You get in the practice of being an actual nurse, and you kind of like on your own, where you have your nursing instructor there and you have the nurse there, but you kind of getting comfortable around patients. And the nursing home was really fun because those elderly people are funny, bro. Like, they some characters, bro. Like, there are some characters. Like, my clinical experience at the nursing home, I always had funny patients. But you can't meet the patient before, you can't meet the patient Monday night. You just strictly read the chart. You just strictly read the chart. You don't like meet the actual person until the next day. You can't do that. But clinicals, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on clinicals because clinicals was an experience, bro. Like, but basically that's what you do at clinicals. You get in the practice of being a nurse, and you follow the nurse, and you have certain restrictions of what you can and can't do. Now that goes into, okay, well, going too fast. Wednesday class is where the clinical goes. So basically the lecture of Wednesday's class helps you with your everything helps you with clinicals. Like, that's the whole goal, help you practice what you learn. But the Wednesday class, concepts of holistic health is basically caring for the whole entire body, mind, and spirit. You know, concepts was like how to approach them, and the different backgrounds, and how you do this and how you do that, as in like caring for the patient as a whole. Because next semester 2, you go into actual, like, if this patient has this, how do you take care of them? If this patient has this right now is just caring for them as a whole, and caring for their emotions and all that different jazz. You don't go into like the nitty-gritty nursing stuff, I would say, until second semester in med surg, where you're learning how to care for different diseases. You learning how to care for, you know what I'm saying? It's like second semester is like, the questions are like, if this patient is in renal failure, no, if these patients labs like this is this patient in renal failure, do you give this patient this. This semester is just like how to help them coping mechanisms, all of that stuff, like how to approach them, blase. In my opinion, that's how concepts was. So I passed concepts. Thursday was pharmacology, y'all. Woo! This class gave me a run for my money, y'all. First of all, you have to learn drug calculations. You have to pass and pay attention, because you have to take a drug calculation test every semester, because you need to know how to dose a patient, if you gonna, like, how much this go to this, so you won't overdose nobody or underdose nobody, and all of this other good jazz. Also, you're learning about every drug. Like, you learn about heart drugs, mind drugs, spirit drugs, psych drugs. Like, you're learning about all of the drugs, and you're getting tested on it, because you gotta know medicine. You're a nurse, sis. You have to know. And pharmacology gave me a run for my money, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna say don't study less for any other class than you do this class, but y'all, you need to study for pharmacology. Like, it's no way around it. Like, my pharmacology binder is over there, but I had a 3-inch binder for pharmacology, bro. Like, I took notes vividly, and I recorded lectures, and I went in the book, y'all. Like, learning drugs is not easy whatsoever. Like, it's not, no, I'll memorize this for the test. No, I need to know these drugs for the rest of my life. Like, I need to know what digoxin does to the heart, when I need to hold it, how long this, that, like, you need to know that for the rest of your life, because you're dealing with somebody's body. Like, pharmacology, bro, like, it's not a game, bro. Like, it's not a game. Like, you need to pay attention. You need to take all your classes seriously. Like I said, like with HHA, you need to take HHA seriously. You need to pay attention. But pharmacology, it's a whole nother beast, bro. Like, the way I studied for that class is, like, I took notes. Like, I didn't personally have a study group. Like, I don't work well in study groups. A lot of people do. I don't. Like, not as in, like, a whole bunch of people. Like, if it's me and somebody else studying, I can do that. And it's like, I study when I can teach it. Like, that's a lot of people. Like, when me and Asia used to study, like, I used to explain to her, or she used to explain to me, or I used to make little things. And one big thing that helped me with pharmacology is flashcards. But a lot of people mess up is they start making flashcards right before the test. No, you make flashcards after you take your notes, so right before the test you won't be trying to finish your flashcards and then trying to look. No, you make your flashcards after you take your notes. You go, you see what's important. After you take your notes, you write it down, and then it's like easy access. That helped me. I don't know how other people, but when I took pharmacology, that helped me by doing flashcards. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big study group gal, so yeah. And then, like I said, and then after pharmacology that day, I had simulation lab, and this is basically where you get all your skills from. And then you progress with your skills. If you pass the skill, you can do the skill in clinicals. So first, you learn how to do blood pressure. Then you have to actually take blood pressure, take a test, and they teach you. I mean, if you pass taking blood pressure, then you take blood pressure in clinicals. We didn't learn like major like injections and all that stuff till second semester. Last semester we learned how to do a catheter. First semester we learned how to put in a catheter, how to move and position a patient. We learned sterile technique. We learned how to clean a wound, all that stuff. And so basically you go to sim lab, you learn the skill, they teach you the skill. We had to go to guided practice, which is like practice outside of class. Like, that's mandatory. You have to do guided practice for an hour. First semester you could go to guided practice every time during the week. It just has to be after your class. You can't go study a skill you didn't technically learn about, so it has to be after your class. And it's open on the weekends. You learn the skill in class, the teacher taught it, which you did with the teacher, and then you go to guided practice with a peer facilitator. Bro, sorry y'all, that was my school calling. Had to take that. But peer facilitators are there, and they have all equipment for you to practice that skill. Only that equipment for that skill is out. You know, it's multiple beds for, more than one person to go. You practice with your friends, you practice by yourself, but you practice, and then you have to actually demonstrate the skill for a teacher by yourself. You have 25 minutes to do the skill, or however long they do it. But this is like later on, like the next week. So you learn the skill one week, the next week everybody has a certain time on the day you have class that you go and you do the actual skill. And if you don't pass it, you have to do it again. And you can't, if you do pass it, you get to practice in clinicals. If you don't pass it, you don't get to practice in clinicals. But how I was prepared for every class had a binder, even simulation lab, even my clinical binder. I would go get it, but y'all, like, that's a lot of stuff to dig through. Overall, first semester was a lot for me because it was just learning how to think like a nurse, and a lot of the questions you would say is, like, you would do it regularly, but it's like, no, they're trying to train you into thinking like a nurse and acting like a nurse and thinking like critical thinking more than just like this. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I can't explain it, but it's just like thinking like a nurse. Like, you know, like, that's what first semester is about. And it was kind of hard because you have to adjust your brain from normal thinking to nurse thinking. And it's like, but they help you, and my teachers were very helpful and all that stuff. Like, studied every day, or if I could every day, studying on the weekends. Like, nursing school takes up a lot of your time. It's like you go from thinking I'm gonna chill this weekend to I should be studying. Like, that's why I didn't go a lot of places and do a lot of stuff, because nursing school is a lot, and like you have to pass, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to at least make a 75. Ain't no making no 70 and then like you worried about, oh, are my test averages gonna average out to a 75, I'm gonna pass the class. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, you want to make good grades so that test average will at least be a 75, and you'll learn, and they test you along the way. Like, if you in clinicals, your teacher gonna ask you, hey, what's this? And you can't be stuck like Chuck, because you caring for somebody. Like, your whole responsibility is helping save someone's life, so you need to know all of that stuff, right? So, and then like my experience, I was pregnant my first semester of nursing school. I didn't find out I was pregnant until November, so nursing school was halfway over, but at the end it was just a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because like my body was adjusting to being pregnant. I was in my first trimester. Like, it was a lot, but I got through it. And if I can get through my whole year of nursing school pregnant, you could do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that didn't come back. It's a lot of people that just was like, yeah, this is not for me, dog. You have to be disciplined, and you have to like have that mindset. First semester wasn't as bad as I feel like a lot of people make it seem. It's just like, it's one, I feel like if you would say it was your hardest class, it was your hardest semester, is because you're new to everything, you don't know. But going into, after first semester, I knew how to approach second semester. I knew how I needed to change like my study habits. I knew like what was expected, kind of, in a sense. And now it's like, bam, I'm ready for second semester. Second semester is more interesting, in my opinion. It's more in depth. You feel more nursey in second semester. So first semester was just like a entrance to the ball game. The real game starts second semester, in my opinion. Y'all will find out all about second semester in my next video. So I hope I gave y'all enough background on first semester so you can like get a feel of nursing school in your first semester. You can do it if you haven't been to nursing school yet. It's not as hard as it seems. You just gotta, well, it is hard, it is tough, but you just gotta stick it out and pray, and with whatever you do to keep the faith, do that. I cried, y'all. I said I was gonna quit, y'all. Like, you go through all of those emotions, but at the end it's like, I did this. I'm finna be a second semester shawty. Like, what's good? Hello. Like, I made it. But yeah, y'all, so everything I wrote down was really for second semester. I'm looking now to see like if I skipped anything. But yeah, y'all, so I just wanted to let y'all know how my first semester of nursing school went. I survived it, and you can do it too. Stay tuned for part 2, because that's where the juicy, nitty gritty good stuff, that's when the real knowledge come about in second semester. So y'all just bear with me. I'm gonna get the video out. Stay tuned for part 2. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Alright, bye.